Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar where I will be speaking about how to use email marketing to promote, reach and engage your webinar attendees. My name is Anna Matthews, a product marketer for Zoho Campaigns, and I will be your host for today. Before beginning the webinar, I would like to know if the audio and the video are clear. Any issue with communication, do let us know so that we can sort it out soon. In case if you have any questions during the course of this session, please feel free to ask them using the questions tab that is there at the top left corner of your screen. My team and I are looking forward to all the questions. We also have a dedicated Q&A session at the end so that we can answer all your questions. So, without any further ado, let me begin our webinar for today by presenting before you the agenda. The agenda for today includes answering the questions of why a webinar is a great marketing tool, then an introduction to webinar email marketing, which will be followed by a short introduction to our very own in-house online webinar software that is called Zoho Meeting. And finally, its integration with our very own email marketing tool, Zoho Campaigns. So, before moving on, think about a scenario where you are a marketer and you have a product and you would like to market it to your people around you. So, what do? Can you just go out to random people and say, give a shake hand and you are just saying, hi, we have a product here. Could you please buy it? Can we just say that and make them buy the product? No, right? So, what do we do next? Won't we be seeking ways to compare, contrast different methods and decide what is best for our customers? So here we at Zoho Campaigns consider webinars as the best decision anyone could ever make to convince customers. Now, try answering these questions. Do you have a decent internet connection? A service provider for your webinar, a computer or a laptop? If the answer for all these three questions is a big yes, then why not consider a webinar? You're all set to conduct a webinar if you are having all these. So why not? Well, moving on. You would be wondering why I am talking about webinar and why webinar is a great marketing tool. So, before beginning, let me ask you something. Have you heard about the principle of liking something? Okay, if not, it says that the psychology of buying clearly proves that we are more likely to say a yes to a request if we feel a connection to the person making or marketing it. And this can be made possible in all our business platforms through webinars, which will help you to build a real-time connectivity with your customers and also establish your credibility, thereby creating and improving your brand awareness. And while speaking about brand awareness, remember that you're going to conduct a webinar and you will be anyway recording the webinar. And these webinars can be edited into smaller videos, which can be used as educational or training videos to boost your marketing efforts. Also, you would certainly have a script for your webinar, which can be turned into materials for future blogs, infographics, flipbooks, PDFs, etc. And these can improve your search engine ranking, thereby improving your online reach and review, which again adds value to your brand, increasing your brand's presence in your market. In your market. So, by improving your reach and reviews, you are expanding your customers globally. Thus, we find webinars being used in building business, and it can be considered as a great marketing tool. And once you decide on doing a webinar, you need people to attend the webinar, right? And if you need people to attend the webinar, you would want to promote it. So marketing your webinar through emails is called webinar email marketing. First, uh, you would be preparing for the webinar and then you would be conducting it. So before uh, conducting, you would want to send emails, and here we're going to discuss about webinar and engagement via emails. So first, you would send webinar invitation emails to your list of subscribers or customers, and then reminder emails to your registrants, where the goal remains the same, which is to get registrants and attendees respectively. And before sending emails, the foremost step to make sure is that your webinar content meets the needs of your customers. If it's made sure, then they would be happy to connect with you, and this connection could be made stronger with emails. Emails and webinars gives you a better chance of keeping your customers engaged. And after the webinar, you would be sending them thank you emails, incorporating the recorded version of your webinar. And this acts as a stepping stone to engage with them throughout their journey with you. You would receive feedback emails from them, and feedback emails are through emails, which again, where the emails will act as a marketing channel to reach and engage your webinar attendees, and this might lead to drive more sales. Here, I hope you got a basic understanding about webinars and webinar email marketing. Now, since we're discussing about webinars, over to our in-house webinar software called Zoho Meeting. So Zoho Meeting is an online web conferencing solution that lets you host free meetings and webinars for teams and organizations. Now, I'm going to quickly show the capabilities of this product, which includes conducting instant and scheduled meetings with moderator controls, engaging your customers with presentations, question and answer sessions, and polls to get a detailed analysis and reports of people who are participating, and through this you can identify your target customers. You can also collaborate with anyone using audio and video sharing options. You can record, replay, and share your webinars to anyone, anywhere. And now, since we're discussing about the scope of webinars, I will be giving you a brief demo on how to create and schedule a webinar. Okay. So yeah, this is our product, Zoho Meeting. Here we are going to schedule a webinar, and we are going to click schedule a webinar. So before scheduling your webinar, think about the reminder that you would want your attendees to receive. So you have to go to the settings, and you will find the meeting and webinar settings here, where you will have the email reminder, which you can set accordingly. You will have one day before, 12 hours before. So here I am going to keep it as 1 hour before. And yeah, that is saved. Now you have to go to home. Again, you have to schedule it. Now, so we can take this example where consider Silca to be an online magazine company, and I myself a marketer for the same. And I want my subscribers to have a basic understanding about the magazine, its evolution, the type of content that they can expect from my magazine, and many more. So first, what would I do is I would create a webinar where I will introduce my magazine, that is Introduction to Silca. So yeah, and here the description is optional, but I would always suggest you to give a description so that the people who attend or the people who register will get a basic idea of what to expect from your webinar. So here I'm going to give an introduction to Silca. So I would be telling them join our free webinar to learn more about Silca, So they would be knowing that in this webinar I'll be speaking more about Silca. And maybe you can also mention the agenda. Here's the agenda. You can mention the agenda here. In numbers, you can mention the agenda. So again, that provides a clarity to your registrants and attendees. Now, the date, you can set the date, and here you can edit it accordingly. So it's for India people, you have to give the Indian Standard Time, and the duration you can select 1 hour or 30 minutes, and you are scheduling a webinar now. So yeah, that's how you schedule the webinar. And now here is a link for you to copy and paste it to any mediums where the people would get to receive the registration form. And here you can grab and embed the code. You can copy and paste it to your website or the blog or your blog, so that the people who visit your website or the blog will find it and they will also register. So for the registration, you can customize your registration form. For example, if I want to know the country from where my registrants register so that I can plan my email promotions accordingly, I would need their country or region for that. And so I would make it mandatory and I'll save it. And that's how you customize the registration form. And here you would have the automatic approval option, which can be changed into manual approval, where if you're manually approving it, once the registrants click on the register, you would be receiving an email where you have to confirm their registration. And that is the manually approve. And automatically approve means the registrants will automatically receive information on how to join the webinar after the registration. So yeah, that's how you do. And here you would see the total number of registrants. And co-organizers, you can add any co-organizer if you wish to add. You can give the name and their email address where they can also speak while the webinar is being conducted. And polls. So while you're doing a webinar, you can create polls for better interaction. So for example, since I'm doing a webinar on Silca, introduction to Silca, so I can ask them, did you get a clear understanding about Silca? Yeah. So you can ask anything you want, and you can allow your audience to answer it. So here there is a multiple choice question and the star rating. So I would prefer star rating, and you can select the stars. So if it's a 1 star, then it can be very pathetic. Okay. And if it's a 5 star, then very good. Yeah. So these are the scales, and you can create a poll. Once created, you would receive the information. The people who have attended the polls, you will get the details here. So yeah, that is how you schedule a webinar. And once you schedule the webinar, you have to make sure that it's promoted. And for sending email promotions, you need an email marketing software, and that is why Zoho Meeting integrates with Zoho Campaigns. And this is to make sure that your scheduled webinars are promoted through emails. With this integration, you can promote targeted leads as customers by increasing your engagement with them through webinars and webinar promotional emails. And to drive more attendees to your webinars, your emails can include an effective overview of what they can expect from the webinar. And there are also pre-designed responsive templates in Zoho Campaigns for webinars, which will help you to ease your webinar email marketing efforts. And you can also conduct A/B testing for your webinar email promotions by altering the subject, email content, or center details to track the open rates and decide the best for your registrants or attendees. And last but not the least, you can track the reports of emails sent, the number of registrants, attendees, etc. in your Zoho Campaigns account to improve your email marketing the next time. Now, the let me help you with a short basic demo of this the integration. So for that, you have to first log into your Zoho Campaigns account. You have to log into your Zoho Campaigns account, and you have to click on the settings where you have to move to the integration. Here's the integration. You can click on the apps. Here you will find Zoho Meeting where the account is already integrated. So before integrating, what you would receive is, when you click on the connect, you would receive this 3 actions that the Zoho Meeting integration with the campaigns that happens. So yeah, once you click on the continue, you will see one account where you can view the details and you can find which account is being connected. And now after integrating, you have to go to your contacts where you can select the sync services, and you can find this Zoho Meeting here where you can edit your setup. So right now once you send out your link to your customers or subscribers, you can set it up here where the registrants are to be added and where the attendees are to be added, etc. So here, since it's about Silca, I want my registrants to receive updates and newsletters of my company. So I want my registrants to be added to the list of updates and newsletters. And attendees, I would want them to receive the event details about Silca so that they can also attend it. So I'm giving them a chance so that they can attend it. So I want them to be added to the Silca event list. And these are the pre-mapped fields, and you have to save it. Once you're done with editing the setup, you can create sign-up forms. And to create sign-up forms, you have to click on the contacts again. Here is the sign-up forms. And these sign-up forms can be used. Here you can create the form. So yeah, these sign-up forms can be used to get the consent of the registrants who are not there in your already existing mailing list. And you can send them to make sure that your emails are reaching them with their consent. So yeah, you can select any of these sign-up forms. You can use the template and you can save and proceed. You can save and get the code here. So you have to associate a mailing list for getting the code. So I would be selecting this updates and newsletters so that all the registrants will receive the sign-up form. So this is the code. This can be copied to your clipboard and can be pasted in your website. And here there are other WordPress codes, short URL and button. And here in the button you can generate the code. You can copy this and attach it to your emails that you send out. So that is how you create a sign-up form. Now you can start to create campaigns to engage and reach your customers, your attendees. So you have to click on the campaigns and you will have advanced campaigns options where you have to start creating the campaign. And here you have to click on the meeting, the regular campaign. Yeah. So here we should give the campaign name. So this is for our reference where we would be able to identify why we created this campaign. So here I would give, since this is an introduction to Silca, I would give the name as webinar on Silca. So introduction to Silca. And the webinar which we have already created would appear here. And we have to click on that. And subject can be given join our free webinar. A free webinar for a basic understanding about Silca. So yeah, While giving the subject also, you have to be careful that they need to know why you are sending the emails. So that is, you are letting them know that through your subject line. So you have to be careful while giving your subject line. And sender name, it's from Silca. So I would give my name and the company's name. I would suggest you to give the company's name always, because even if the customers forget your name, they won't be forgetting your company's name. So there are higher chances of people opening the emails. So that's how you update the basic info of your campaign. You have to save it, and you would have the pre-designed templates for webinars. You have to select any of these, and the editor is being loaded here right now. So yeah, so it's loaded, and here, since the meeting account is already integrated, all the details from your meeting account, I mean the webinar which you have scheduled, will be automatically updated in your Zoho Campaigns account. So here you have to just edit the content. So here, if you are looking to understand more about Silca, this webinar is for you. So I would be giving that. Okay, and now, okay, I don't need this. Okay, and so here would be the webinar description. This is the description which we had given here. That this description will appear there. So here, since we have mentioned the agenda already, here we need not give the agenda again. So I am going to delete that also. Yeah, and here the webinar date and time will appear. Here you can edit this button if you require. So you can change this I am in into maybe, could be as simple as register now. And yeah, you can save it. And now this is not looking good. So you can edit it again. You can edit the design of the button, where you can adjust the width and height of the button. So you can have a trial and error option here, where you can see how it would appear. So size, you can adjust it, and you have to save it. Yeah, now it looks good. Moving on. So, and here you can give the presenter's image, the picture of the presenter. So you can get it from there. You can upload it directly from your computer, or you can give the image URL. Yeah. And then you have to save it so that the image appears here. And after making the changes, you have to click on the save and proceed button. And the content is saved right now. Before sending out the emails, you have to be clear of the pre-header that you're going to send to your attendees, I mean to your customers or subscribers. So you can mention we are conducting a free webinar on Silca. Yeah, so you have to give a pre-header. Again, the chances of higher open rates increases while we give the pre-header details, and you can update the header and footer theme. The normal theme can be given. If you click on the next button, you can create the list to which this campaign needs to be sent, and you can save it. Here you would find 3 options where you can click on the set now to send it immediately, and you can schedule a campaign, and also if the number of registrants and attendees are more, you can send it in batches. So these are the 3 methods where you can send it. And once the campaigns are sent, you can see the number of registrants and attendees in contacts. Again, you have to go to sync services, where you'll find all your webinars that you have been created, and you can see the number of registrants and attendees. So this is the one which we have created. Learn more about Silca. No, and we have created introduction to Silca, right? So yeah, this is the introduction to Silca, where you'll find the number of registrants and attendees. So you would have numbers like this when registrants are there, and when you click on it, you would get the total count, the new contacts that are being added to your mailing list, the re-added contacts, the duplicate contacts, the ignored contacts, people who have unsubscribed from the list, and people who have unsubscribed from the associated topic. So all these details are visible in Zoho Campaigns itself. And yeah. So, well, that's all we have time for today. And now is the time for you to clarify your doubts. We are here to help you out. And thank you for listening. We will continue to be here for a while, and you can ask all your questions in the questions tab. Now, please shoot your questions. A recording of this webinar will be sent to each of you as soon as possible. And in any case, if you have feedback, you can send it to me directly at anat.m@zohocorp.com, or you can contact the support team at support@zohocampaigns.com. Also, any questions or clarifications regarding the product and product demo if required, please feel free to contact us in any of the email IDs mentioned on your screen. Thanks once again for joining us.